All right, so I guess it's time to work on this project. We're gonna be using the vinyl that we hate the most, which is the reflective vinyl. So this video is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get started. Before we start cutting the vinyl, I wanna tell you exactly the brand that we'll be using, and is the same brand as the Oralite 651, but this one is the reflective film and is made by Oralite. And a few things I want to mention, to be fair, is that first of all, this vinyl has been sitting in the garage for a couple of years. Second, this is the lowest grade that they have. The one we are using is the 5300. They have more expensive ones, and I assume those are easier to work with. So those are the two things that I wanted to mention. Also, another thing that I want to mention is that about the cut force, no matter what we do, if we increase it by 1, the blade will start cutting through the paper. And if we decrease it 1, it seems like the vinyl or the blade is not cutting through the vinyls. So those are the things that you just gotta know before we start cutting it. Another thing is that we're gonna use the tape application rollers. We use it mainly with the Cameo 4 vinyl cutter, especially with the 15-inch rolls. It makes it a lot easier. And also to apply our transfer tape, but we're gonna use it with this machine too. For this project, we're gonna use our Graphtec CE6000-40. And the main reasons why we're gonna use this machine, the first one is that we don't use it as much. And so we're trying to use it a little bit more. And the second, as you can see, the cutting strip is already damaged. And to be able to cut the reflective vinyl, we gotta increase the cut force quite a bit. And in case we damage it, I mean, it's already damaged. We don't have to worry about it. And that's why we're not using our bigger machine, because we don't want to damage that cutting strip. This one is in a little bit of a better shape. And the software that we are using today, or the two softwares, the one we use to vector our image is CorelDRAW X6, and the one that comes with the vinyl cutter is the CM3 or Cutting Master 3. And I'm going to add the weeding boxes, so I'm going to go to the left and select this, the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to add it here. Just a huge rectangle, and especially with this type of vinyl, you want to make sure that you do add those weeding boxes. Okay, I'm going to go to Bezier tool, then I'm going to start from here, then I'm going to go over there, here, and then all the way to the top, and then I can add more lines here to make it easier, but I'm going to use the other tool, the 2-point, I think is what it's called. I forgot that I have this in Spanish because this is a different computer, and I'm still using the same software. The CorelDRAW is the same one. And now I think I'm ready, and then I'm going to send it to our CM3 or Cutting Master 3, and the settings will be, or we'll show them to you in just a second. I think I'm happy with the way it looks right there. And I'm going to show you the settings right now. As I said, this is a different software, depends on what software you have. But these are the main ones, the very important ones, the cut force. Right now I have it at 16. The blade is not brand new, but it's been used quite a bit. And this is very important, just like the cut force, the passes. So I selected 2. And I will tell you that in just a second, or what basically the blade does, it just goes around each letter and everything, all the lines, it goes, it cuts them twice. All right, this is the way you gotta do it, okay? Even with the, when you are applying the transfer, I get so excited about recording the videos that sometimes I miss a few things. And now I'm gonna align the vinyl. If you want to, or if you're gonna be working on a big project, you can just align the vinyl, take your time, and I'm just using the alignments here. And it looks good right now. I'm happy with that, and I'm gonna send it to the back and see how much the vinyl moves. And like I said, it's only 28 inches tall by 13, and the vinyl is 15 inches, so we got plenty of room. I'm just gonna keep an eye on this. And the paper, or the vinyl, looks like foil paper, the one that you have at home. That's how it feels like when you weed it out. Some sections of the vinyl, you will notice that the blade will probably cut a little bit through the paper, but just a tiny bit, not a big deal. We gotta make 2 of these bigger decals, and we also gotta make 12 little ones. So this is a big order. It's a nice order. And for those that are wondering about the design, we didn't create it from zero. The customer had the design, and all we had to do was just vector it, and it wasn't really that hard. It only took a few minutes, and we've had this logo, or we've been working with this customer for quite some time, but right now everything's looking good. Let's, Nacho, can you get close and see? Hopefully the camera can capture the lines where the vinyl cutter is cutting through. It looks good so far. It's not cutting through the paper, I think, because we play with the settings for a couple days now. Looks good. I'm pleased with the results so far. If you guys have a Cameo cutter, I'm sure you guys are going to relate to this, but one of the main differences about the Graphtec is that you do not need a cutting mat. It's so easy to cut like small pieces of vinyl, like even like 2 inches pieces of vinyl, you can easily cut them. And especially when they are long, you can use those small pieces of vinyl. So that's one of the huge differences with this vinyl cutter, and one of the facts that we love this kind of vinyl cutter. And it's the same with the bigger one, the 24-inch. I think I forgot to mention, but this one is only 15 inches, and this was the very first vinyl cutter that we bought when we started our business. Another thing I forgot to mention about the settings is the speed, which I have it at 10. Usually we have it at 20 or 38, but I decreased it because I noticed that we get better details when we slow it down a little bit. Here you can see that, I mean, it didn't cut through it, but you can definitely see all the traces. And remember guys, if you are liking this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done it yet, turn on your notifications. Thank you so much. Right, and the good thing about the width box is that you can definitely see where you can cut the vinyl from. I'm just gonna go about there. Right guys, so it's time to start having some fun. I'm obviously being sarcastic in this video. Since we have the width box, I'm gonna get rid of this. And you can tell right away, this is gonna be a challenge. Basically, for this project, what we'll have to do, keep pressing down the vinyl. We're so used to this process. I mean, we haven't done it recently, but it's not our first rodeo for sure. And now I'm gonna start from this section here. Good thing I added those width boxes. And as I said it, you might be asking, why not increasing the cut force a little bit more? And as I said it, I wasted so much material already trying that, and it didn't work. So basically this is all I would have to do, just press down, and I mean it's coming out good. Yeah, push this. Right now, maybe you cannot see the difference. It looks more like a gray vinyl, but it is actually reflective vinyl. You can definitely feel it. And this is the trick with this vinyl. I mean, it cuts it all the way, but you still gotta push it down to be able to weed it out. And this is the reason why you want to avoid making like really detailed images, or unless they're big enough, or maybe we're gonna try a better quality, the higher grade vinyl. Maybe that's why, because we're being cheap, maybe that's why we need to invest a little bit more for this vinyl, but it does the job. Good so far. Let's keep it that way. See how it falls apart, but the good thing is that only where like sections, like pieces that you don't really need, is where sometimes the vinyl falls apart. But you still gotta take your time when weeding out. Like, this is not as challenging as the little ones, but as I said, this one is closer to the original design. Like the position of the letters and all the details are closer to the original. Yeah, This is a real challenge, but we're getting there. It's coming out good. This is why we don't really advertise this material that much. Imagine working on a very small logo with like a lot of detail. Wouldn't work out. Now, I got some scissors here, and I'm gonna be really careful with this. This is the area where we have more detail, and I'm gonna cut it from here. Just taking my time. And start from the inside. This is easy compared to what's coming next. Now we're ready to apply our transfer. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but this is the type of transfer we're going to be using, the Art Tape Clear Choice AT75.1, but you can also find it as AT75. If you didn't have any extra hands, you could easily use the tape application rollers, although we're not going to use it this time because since we won't be doing the installation, we always make sure that the decal is in the best shape since the customer will take care of the installation. And one thing that I gotta mention about the price for this vinyl, the 5300 economy, you will pay $70 for a roll of 10 yard and it's the 15 inches. Unlike the regular vinyl, which will only cost you $25. So as you can see, there's a huge difference in prices. That's one thing that you gotta keep in mind. It's really good material or really cool material. It can be a real challenge working with it, but it's totally worth it if you find the right customer and if you give the right price. What we did actually, we cut 2 additional logos, so we're just gonna put it in there. We have 12 little ones here plus 2 additional ones, and then we have the bigger ones, 13 point something by 28. So these were a little easier to work with compared to the little ones. Remember guys, if you want to support us additionally, of course, give us a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. But if you decide to get any materials or equipment, we're going to have all the links in the description of the video as well as on the first comment. We also have some memberships if you guys want to become a VIP member, which we will really appreciate. Thank you so much, and see you until the next video.